whatever that we are struggling in life, that is our karma. Whatever that we have a struggle with, that is the karma that we're born into. For example, in my case, I had a very tough mother who was very critical and abusive in my childhood. It's because I was very tough and critical and abusive to my kids in the previous life. So I got this karma in order to learn to become a loving, gentle, soft mom. So the question to you, what is your struggle in life? You're thinking, this is so unfair.
I think mine was also the whole motherhood dynamic, for sure. My mom was an addict, so she wasn't really available. But before Vivian, I would always end up taking care of the people around me in some capacity.
And if you're looking now at it from the karmic lens, what can you tell? That if you had a really tough mom and you were tend to help others when they were in pain, what karma did you come with?
I caused a lot of pain and suffering. I made that joke even long before I learned about like all of this. I would say like in a past life, I think I was a tyrant because I came to this lifetime to serve others so obviously to me. So yeah, I really believe that.
Yes, you get that.
I was like a spoiled princess or something. That was terrible.
Do you get that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever we're feeling that this is unfair, I'm single, or I have a tough parents, or I don't get money, all of this is because of your previous deeds. Whatever happened in your past life, you're carrying it, you're born with, to deal with it. And it's going to be always in your face now. Probably you and I, Samantha, will have to serve for the rest of our life. You know, to cleanse, yes. To continue to cleansing our deeds from our previous life.
Because finances has been, like I was born into a family that was very struggling. Yep. So again, I'm assuming I was probably very selfish or used people for their yes. belongings.
Yes.
And because I don't in this lifetime, but it is very prominent. And yes. So I'm just curious, like, is that something that I just need to make friends with and I probably just won't ever have much money? Or is that something that I'm trying to work through and try to get more money?
We should not try to figure it out. We just got to surrender and accept of what's so. And just knowing that Creator is 100% fair. Even if we say to ourselves a negative thought about someone, it's just a matter of time, a week or months or hour, it bounces back to us. And figuring out the money situation, it's pointless. We just gotta surrender. In this lifetime, or maybe right now, this is what's so. And gotta continue to build this authentic relationship with Creator, because everything is in His hands. He can change our destiny. And as you remember from the program, How to Conquer Your Destiny, the more you are doing the prayer or meditation, your destiny is and destiny is connected to karma, is very dense in our soul. But as you continue praying and meditating, it becomes softer, and it actually becomes bigger and bigger, but it's softer like a cloud, and then it evaporates. And so we can overcome those karmas. And if you have a karma with regards to money, you can overcome that because everything in Creator's hands. Of course, if you have a karma, for example, you murdered someone, that probably will take 2 or 3 lifetimes.
Yeah.
But usually with regards to money, everything in Creator's hands. Most of the time, we as a human beings, we tend, let's be honest, to blame either our husband, either our parents, either Creator when we don't get money or get a good job. We tend to blame someone. And so just to be clear that you're leaving from this day, from our meeting, being certain that, I get that no one is responsible. Not parents, not husband or ex-husband, not creator, not children, not your friends, not boss. If anyone wants to share, if there's a struggle with, okay, I'm still not sure why I'm single or why something is not working. If anyone wants to share, so I can work through this with you and share how the life flipped in this lifetime for you.
Are it always karma, like working your example, or even I can say about my example, single. Let's say if I'm single and of course I want relationship and I cannot have it, are it always means that in past life I just left someone alone, or maybe you were saying about your karma, kinda your mother was abusive and you was abusive in the last. Are it always working totally is the same, or because even Dada said that, like, I mean, somebody punch you in the nose, definitely you're not going to reflect the same punishment in the nose. You can get it, I don't know, less money, or maybe something going to happen with kids, you know what I mean? Are it always kind of reflecting?
Well, if somebody punch you in the nose, it's a little thing. You can get punched in the nose, or you can get something hurt physically to get the same experience. This is how it felt. But with regards to the big things, for example, let's take your example that you're single. Yeah? And if I can share that, let's say, last relationship, the guy did not commit to you and basically left.
Yeah.
Right? And if you look at your history on the first and second and third relationship, that there's a pattern, and this is your complaint that I'm single, why is this happening to me? That this is the answer with regards to your particular karma. And it doesn't matter whether it was in the previous life or 2 lives before, but that's what you did. As a man, you were leaving women. And in order to teach you this lesson, you're now going through it.
Then it's always reflecting, like, I mean, but it can be not in previous life, or maybe it was 2 or 3 lives before, but I didn't conquer in the last life.
Exactly.
Let's say. That's why I got it in this one.
Exactly. Because sometimes you will be dealing with what you're doing in this life, in the next life, and maybe in 2-3 lives from now. And that's where we will not know exactly. But Veda's explaining those big things. For example, you're complaining that you have a drunk husband is because in the previous life or life 2 lives before, you were drunk as a man and you had a woman who had to put up with you in order to experience and learn that you now married a drunk husband or unfaithful husband. And whatever punches you the most and what's really painful for you, that's what you were causing in the previous life. And usually we flip. You're in this life as a woman, in the next life you were a man, and in the next life you will be a man. You're complaining about men, in the next life you'll be a man. You're complaining about women, you will be in the next life a woman. It goes back and forth like that. And with regards to a friend of mine who called me because I said I'm preparing for a topic karma, and she asked, well, my daughter had already 3 boyfriends and they're already been breaking up with her. All these 3 boys broke up with her and she has a broken heart. How am I contributing to her bad karma? As a parent, you're not contributing to your kids' bad karma. They're already born with their sets of karma. But you can help your kids by giving them blessing and giving them grace. But how can you do that? By having a deep, meaningful relationship with Creator and giving them the most important knowledge is the spiritual knowledge. And when you do that, you are starting to help them to overcome their karma in this lifetime. Because some women think, because I've divorced, my daughter is breaking up and divorcing as well. Well, she is picking up the behavior, but it has nothing to do with the karma. She already chose you as a mother. You've chosen your parents right before you're born in order to have this life, in order to have these exams and these lessons in life. And therefore, we have no right to blame our parents or our partners or our bosses or colleagues or friends. Because we every day create and accumulate more karma with our thoughts and our actions.
Does that also pertain to your partner, of like that you chose them before you came down?
Yes.
So like, okay.
Yeah.
So like the whole karmic dynamic with whoever you're choosing to marry,
yes,
is going to be the same.
Yes, you already chose the boyfriend and fiance and husband to go through the certain exams in life in order to learn lessons. How you've in previous life left someone with the child, let's say hypothetically, and we're not helping the same way, even though you left your ex, I believe, right? But you've gone through a very similar experience. You already predetermined and you chose this destiny, to choose this lesson in life.
I felt that with Vivian's dad. Like there was a real understanding that we had done this dance before, and that maybe our roles were swapped, but like I definitely felt, and when we did separate and we're on such better terms and so much more friendly, and there's not angry and animosity.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely felt like that was not our first tango, and we had done it before, and this round we finally somewhat figured it out, even though we didn't stay together.
Right. But if you would be living together, your destiny gonna start acting again. Because in a distance, things are much easier. And in a distance, you actually can easier overcome the destiny and karmic relationship. But right now, I also want to show you how we do accumulate bad karma in a very simple way without even knowing. And the first thing is when we assault someone. So imagine that whereas the human beings live and have those negative karmas. And let's say this is your husband or your boyfriend. And this is you. And let's say your pile is just this big. And all of a sudden, in your mind, in your thoughts, or out loud, it doesn't matter, because it's both ahimsa, and ahimsa meaning you're hurting someone with your thoughts or out loud with your words. You are saying or thinking and assaulting your husband or your boyfriend, or even, let's say, your friend or your colleague or your parents. What you're doing, you're taking their bad karma, and their pile is getting smaller. Now this is clear. And your pile is getting bigger by you assaulting them just in your mind, maybe not even out loud. And the same concept works with gossip. You are jealous of your friend who just got married or got pregnant, or a friend who just opened a business and bought a new car. It doesn't matter. You are jealous. You are taking this pile of her negative karma and you just add it to yours. And this is not a lot of people talk about it. And Vedas are explaining it very, very clearly. And the third one, so assault, gossip. And the third is when you are either kind of blaming, thinking, or talking negatively about others people's religion or spiritual philosophy or practices, or when you are disrespecting someone who is like teachers or gurus or spiritual teachers. You same thing. You're taking their pile and you're adding it to yours. You're saying, well, my religion, I am Christian, is better than Muslim. Or I am Buddhist, it is better than Hindu. Or I am a Muslim, my religion is better than Jewish. Same thing. Or you're even thinking about that this teacher who is having this deep spiritual relationship with Creator, and all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, they're sneezing like us, they're struggling in life like us, like regular human beings. that means they're not really that spiritual. Because when we usually meet spiritual gurus, we almost look at them like saints, but they also have karma. And they came in life with the certain exams. And all of a sudden, after 6 months or a year, we look at them and we're thinking that, well, they're saying something that I don't really agree with. Or here they said something that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Or there's some kind of judgment, right? Or there's some kind of criticism. The moment this criticism in place, you actually start to disconnect on a soul to soul level from this person, from this teacher, and your meditation or your spiritual practices now starting to diminish as well. Before you could just meditate because you were getting this knowledge, maybe you're listening to this guru, maybe you go on this meeting with this guru, or maybe you had a stronger relationship with this teacher, and now because you have this just this little criticism and this judgment, it impacts you, and your spiritual practices start to go down. And in the process, again, you are accumulating more and more karma to your pile. That's why yogis and Vedas are explaining the first law of karma is practicing not to accumulate bad karma, is practicing ahimsa. We're not thinking negative thoughts. We're not saying anything negative or bad. And the third, obviously, we're not doing any kind of negative action because there will be a reaction. Karma is like Dada said, it's action. I'm gonna drop this pen, there's a reaction, it will drop. And we have to be responsible for even every thought that we have.
Can I ask you,
Sure.
so this is actually something I'm thinking very much about in this period of my life, this changing my mind and the judgment. Judgment is a huge theme for me. But sometimes, you know, we're humans, we're all on different levels on this spiritual journey. And for me, when I have a monkey mind, it takes over, and, you know, I will have a judgmental thought, I pluck it. Is that still also taking this? Because I'm not fully there yet.
Of course.
Being, you know, completely judgmental, no judgment.
Yes. Yes.
But I'm practicing, and it's difficult. So yeah, I'm just thinking, like, how does it work because I don't always think that my heart and intention is all the way there in the judgment. Like, right. I don't feel this bad thing, but it can definitely come in the monkey mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Sophia, this is a really good question, because I will tell you that to learn to really control our mind, and that is the whole purpose of the meditation, whether it's going to be in Buddhism or yoga or Vedic philosophy, is I cannot share that because it's sacred. Only a guru, when he gonna put you through initiation, gives you 5 different lessons, and only on lesson 3 they teach you certain practices that you do. And when you're repeating that mantra before you speak, before you take any action, you basically, with this mantra that you're saying, you basically giving it all to Creator. And when Dada was saying that accumulating good karma or a bad karma, or doing this 3rd lesson when you take the initiation, the yogi monks are teaching you, when you repeat that mantra, basically all your action is already protected by Creator. And even if you have that negative thought, it's now also protected by Creator, because, you know, you gave that mantra first, then you had this thought. That means Creator already meant for you to have that thought. And therefore, you're not accumulating a negative karma. You're fully in surrender. And that is the power of your deep relationship with your spiritual teacher. I will tell you even more. When spiritual teacher gives initiation, this is a secret that you should know about the yogi and Vedic monks. When they give you the initiation, your teacher can choose to take this much of your negative karma, guess into who? Into them. So this is them. And they have very little negative karma. And they choose to take this big pile into them. And sometimes people, when they decide to go through spiritual journey, some go in the beginning for the selfish reason because the life becomes immediately lighter and easier. And gurus and spiritual teachers to do that in order for you to accelerate in your spiritual journey. And by the way, that's why yogi monks, a lot of times they're very ill, because the more students they have, the more of their piles they took. You get that?
Yeah.
So every time I'm talking to yogi monks, and I know a few of them, you know, sometimes people are struggling financially and they say, oh, I'm gonna donate to Dada next week or next month. I'm like, don't joke about it, because this is a very serious bad karma, because they live 100% to serve humanity. You being here, listen to your heart. If it feels like making a donation, $10, $15, you do that. If it feels like $30 or $40, you do that. Because they're there 100% to serve you. And by the way, this is how you also get rid of your, this much of your, let's say, negative karma, by just being in the space of the yogi monk. That's how powerful they are. It's not a joke for 40-something years to meditate for 3-4 hours a day. And certain weekends they have when they meditate for 18 hours. And there's certain months when for 4 days they don't drink and don't eat at all. They're that disciplined. It's not a pastor for 1 hour who does the prayer in church. They're incredible people. I just talked to one last week about my son, and I felt better, because for 2 weeks I was hurting in my soul because our son is struggling again with teachers in school. And just by talking to him, he gave me the solution. And inside of that solution, it's like he will be a great teacher. That's why he had to go through all of these exams. Let him go through it. And in my heart, I'm like, oh, Dada, thank you. And I'm feeling at peace, just being 30 minutes in his space and talking to him. And we will, this is yogi monks or other monks, Buddhist monks, we will always be somewhere here. No matter how many good intentions we have, because we are going to be where they are, maybe in 10 or 20 different in our future lives. No matter, I've been meditating for 8 years now, but I will never be where the Dadas are, or Didis, or Yogi nuns. You know what I mean? And we got to give ourselves this humbleness, humility, that it's okay. We're not meant to be nuns and monks in this lifetime, but we can learn from them. They are extraordinary. They're here to serve us. How he was sharing about the king who went to hell and he said, I'll stay here. That's what they do. That's what they do. 24 hours a day. Especially this Dada, who is in Nigeria and helping women and children and adolescents and men and the community.
Yes, we're so lucky to be here right now, right here in this moment, learning this. You know, I truly feel like just being here shows that we are definitely on this fast track.
Right.
So,
right. And
I'm very lucky
yes.
to be here.
And by the way, Dadas mentioned that when they were doing meditation in the 90s, the vibration of Earth were around 20%, meaning people were not ready for meditation and spiritual journey. They say now it's at about 65 to 68%. We accelerated a lot. And they say in the next 10 years, it will accelerate even more. And that's how I've been feeling in the past. And they say once you go through initiation, your life will go so fast. And that's how I feel. Like I feel like with every meditation, I'm burning my negative karma so much faster. Even from 8 years ago. First year, it was like so slow. Because with each meditation, you're expanding your mind. And at some point, you start to burn your negative karma, which Dada, I don't know why, he didn't mention that.
It's nice to be reminded. I will, when I struggle with meditation and, you know, the program that I do, I will have that as a reminder.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
burn the karma.
And
I appreciate
it
and
usually
love your humility, but I do want to acknowledge that I feel that in your presence, Lolita.
Hey, all of you, girls.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you. And so, but your karma from a previous life, it will take between 5 to 10 years sometimes before you're gonna start burning it. And some dadas are explaining the heavier the karma were in the previous life, it might take even 20 years to start burning it. But will we ever escape it? No. We'll still have to face it. But at the same time, when you put the commitment on the building relationship with Creator, I would say we're still giving ourselves a chance to, instead of resisting it and making it harder for ourselves, but being humble and accepting it. And so right now, last week when I was going through this rough time with our son, I was like, okay, I surrender to it. I'm giving it to you. And that's a different space than being a victim and thinking, oh, I guess I'm a bad mom or something I'm doing. Why is my son struggling like that? None of that. None of that. Seeking the solution and then also talking to older, to dadas, it makes a big difference. So, any more questions?
I just wanted to quickly share, because when you had that drawing of the karma,
yes,
and specifically when you were like, when you have a teacher and you're like, I don't agree, or like throw some judgment, I'm not proud of it by any means, but it was like, I had been with you for like a couple months, and we were learning about dating, and you had brought up that you're like, you shouldn't even be kissing these men until like the 5th date. And I heard and watched myself be like, you're a prude. And I genuinely felt that and like shot that. And no joke, I went on a date the next week and kissed a guy, and he gave me pink eye from a kiss because I said judgment on you, Amarita. And I felt that instantly hit me, and I was like, never again. Do not question her ever again, young lady. But that is how instant that karma can be.
Yeah, and thank you, Samantha, for acknowledging that. And it's interesting the way the karma works. We always think that we're gonna hurt someone, right? But in the reality, we can only hurt ourselves. Only ourselves. And the moment we are thinking negative thought about this other person, or again gossiping about them, we're just accumulating our bad karma, right? Or we are angry with someone. It doesn't matter. It's only accumulation of our negative karma. And trust me, Samantha, I was disagreeing with a lot of dadas as well, that I had to clean up my karma with them too, because some of the things I was like, oh no, there's no way I can do that. Every thought, repeating the mantra, if I'm thinking about that person, it's impossible. It will be 24 hours. First year I'm like, this is no, there's no way. And then it's part of being a human, right? So thank you for acknowledging. Welcome to humanity. We're just growing and expanding. So with that said, ladies, any more questions about karma? Because it's actually a huge topic and we can come back to it. I honestly covered only 20% today, and we can stay longer to cover more, or we can just have another meeting where I can cover another 80%, where I will be breaking down more with regards to men and women and how they get to it. But in a nutshell, I was able to give you the surface so that you live understanding that there's no fault at what he is doing, at what my child is doing. It's just I chose this lifetime because I'm coming with this particular karma. So as the husband comes, so as the children come, so as their parents, our parents. And we all chose this. And there's no one to blame. It is our full responsibility.
But to be honest, like I think about headache, probably it will be this life, because like I never heard that some child will born with headaches, maybe just like genetically. But if we're talking about, I don't know, some disabled, people, some autistic,
Well,
definitely
I will
from past life.
Yeah, for example, if Gabriella called me yesterday and she shared with me that one of the ladies who is promoting femininity shared 2 weeks ago how her husband pretty much molested their kids. And this is karmically, that's what she was doing in the previous life. She was molesting kids, and that's why she attracted the person like that. For example, if you make fun of people who are crippled, who are handicapped, who don't have legs, you will be in the next life for sure dealing with the same thing. I actually remember one of the lectures that I heard maybe 20 years ago or 15 years ago, where one Dada was explaining, we as a women, if we were giving a lot of headache to our husband or our wife in the previous life, we're also inheriting the headache. But I want to also just double check with Dada with regards to karmically having the headache like that, passing. But in one of the lectures, I also heard that. Yeah.
But some like kids, when they come in with autistic or disabled, they just given karma to parents, yeah? Like definitely they accumulated their karma, but as well because the parents need to go through all this process. And definitely they come into their life to really shift them and to cleanse the karma, correct?
Yeah, and one of the other things that when parents actually having kids who have Down syndrome or autistic, they came into this life to accelerate and burn their negative karma faster. Because being
Parents.
with the parents, when you have kids who are crippled or are disabled or have autistic or Down syndrome, you're pretty much 24/7 serving them. And when you're serving them, you are burning much faster your negative karma. Or let's say you're born into this life, let's say, how you call people who are very short? Like, in the bad words, midgets.
Okay, I don't know English word.
Yeah.
A midget?
Yes, midgets, right? Same thing with them. They're burning their negative karma for 2 or 3 previous lives, and they accelerate much faster. Yeah. And so sometimes we'll look at them and, we make fun of them, we don't understand them, but they chose this life to be like that. This is their experience. And they're accelerating much faster. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, ladies, I just want to acknowledge you that we stayed for over 2 hours, and it's been really powerful and very deep topic that always been fascinating me. And no matter what religious background we have, we can really connect to when we do good things. It's like action and reaction. There will be a matter of time, good things happening in our life. And when we do even think or gossip or hurt others, it's just a matter of time that it's going to cut up with us. And that's why we meet and help each other to continue to grow. Because the access, again, like Gabriella was saying, a lot of women now looking at the example of this woman who married this man who was molesting their children. Now women are saying, I'm not going to choose femininity, feminine way. Well, feminine way cannot be without a spirituality. You cannot be feminine unless you connect to Creator and have deep relationship with Him. It's going to be very superficial. At any moment, we can go through breakup and divorce. And the only protection and security we really have in our life is having this deep and meaningful relationship with Creator. He is our true security. And when we have deep relationship with Him, that's when we're truly feminine. And that's when our families and relationship blossoms. And for a woman who is kind and compassionate and feminine and loving, nobody wanna divorce or leave. And a man who is humble and protects you and provides for you, you would not want to leave him either. So we're all seeking the harmony, but without the deep relationship with Creator, it's just a pie in the sky. Yeah. But it's not possible. And it doesn't matter whether it's going to be through meditation or prayer or repeating the affirmation or through your spiritual journey, through your faith. But we got to seek relationship with Creator in your understanding. So with that said, who wants to finish our call saying, what are you taking out of this meeting for yourself for the next week or two?
I need to stop trying to figure stuff out, but I've known that for some time now. So that's my main thing. I need to stop trying to mentally process spiritual things and just accept my karma.
Yeah.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
For me, it's again like about acceptance and again gratitude. For me, it was so like eyes openers, and I don't know, like even heartbroken when Dada was saying how the Nigerian woman suffering there and about all this genitals and clitor. Like I heard this before, but like I never thought it still exists. And like, and this woman thinking that, I mean, this culture, he's saying, it's a culture for them. And they thinking that this is normal and like kind of it's supposed to be like this. But because they never heard and they doesn't know, they don't have knowledge that it's unnormal. That's why again I'm coming, like I'm so happy that I'm Ukrainian. I'm so happy that like in this life I choose. Thank you for this opportunity to be here, and the daughter was with us as well.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think I'd like to work on less gossip and having better thoughts of people. Focusing on myself, which isn't usually too hard. For me, I might focus on myself too much. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I'm working on right now, this week.
Thank you, Ayana.
I would quickly say, for me, I think I needed the reminder, as I mentioned earlier. I will be more coming back to my program, my meditation program, because I've been slacking a little bit lately. So yeah, just the energy, and I feel so nourished in my soul just spending time with you girls. And yeah, I have to get back on it. So this is exactly what I needed.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sophia.